Hey guys, Jade Morris here with UFC Featherweight Arnold Allen. We're at BKK Fighters today in Colchester and we're going to show you a day in the life of what it's like to be a UFC fighter. Should we go on a tour?
Yeah, let's go see the gym.
Fantastic. Train here at BKK,
yeah,
and you also train at TriStar. So tell us what it's like to be over there training, and who is it you're training with?
You know, it's one of the big gyms around the world. There's always people coming through, like high-level guys. George is there, Faraz is there coaching all the time. Ayman's a hobby. He just signed to the UFC, Faraz's brother. There's such a big team. There's too many guys to name, really. But yeah, there's like 100 people on the mat some nights. It's so good.
And what's it like to obviously, get advice from people like this? Because like you say, you've got GSP there, you've got Rory McDonald. Have they given you advice while you've been there? Have you got to train with them? Or?
Not so much advice, like Faraz is the coach, all the advice he gives me, all the advice. He's a smart guy, he sort of knows his stuff, so every time I have questions I go to him. Louis there, he's been around it for a while, he's seen it all, he's seen a lot of things, he's been around a long time.
It must be so fantastic, someone like that, he's the head coach, and to get, training methods from him. It must be so inspirational for you to get to train with fighters like this.
It's always good to get to work with high-level guys. It's good and bad because they beat me up sometimes. If I'm feeling rough, they'll let me know.
What actually attracted you to mixed martial arts then?
I think it's the same story as like most young lads, like watching the martial arts movies, the action movies. Obviously having an older brother, we were always sort of fighting and testing out the moves on each other. Then we'd end up doing it in the gym and we'd go and kickboxing practice and boxing practice and wrestling
So when you were watching, the UFC, who were you a big fan of?
Originally, I liked, Chuck Liddell, and more like recent times, Dan Hardy was the guy for me, to be honest. I just loved his attitude. He always come to fight, he'd always come in and throw down, and I respect that.
Arnold Almighty Allen, where did this nickname come from?
It was actually a sponsor called Almighty Fightwear.
Oh, really?
They said it as a joke, Arnold Almighty Allen, you need a nickname. And then he sponsored me from there, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
So if you could have picked your own name, what was your nickname for the event?
I'll go in with AAA these days, like Triple G, Golovkin the boxer, so we're leaning more that route.
So we've seen you in the gym, let's go for a wander around Colchester.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Because obviously I know you love doing your weightlifting as well, so when you're not training, do you, is that when you do weightlifting as well? Or?
Yeah, I like to lift for fun really. I had a lifting coach I've been using, William Whalen from Powering Through. He's based in Chelmsford, but I just I lift weights for a bit of fun. So.
Do you get that from your dad? Did he start you off quite young, so obviously?
Yeah, well, we used to go to the gym while he was doing his strongman training, watching him sort of pull trucks and stuff. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, my brother's now doing it. He's doing the same sort of stuff himself, isn't he?
So you're a top UK prospect.
Yeah.
Obviously, you turned pro really young. I mean, we're 18, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's so young. Did you feel like, a lot of pressure turning pro so young?
No, it's the opposite, if anything, to be honest. There's no pressure at all. I think you're 18, people sort of underestimate you. They're like, oh, I'm fighting some kid. So then you turn up and you hit them and they realise you're only a kid.
So you're quite used to obviously fighting people a lot older than you.
Yeah, I've been fighting grown men since I was 16, so it's no problem to fight a grown man when I'm 18. Yeah.
When you got the call to be on the UFC,
you
had a week's notice. You fought on UFC Berlin.
Yeah.
Did you have any second thoughts about doing that?
No, not at all. I planned it. I wrote it all down. I had that as like a guesstimate that was going to be the date. I looked at the card and I was like, there's a load of featherweights on there. Someone pulls out, I'm in on that one.
So you kind of prepared ahead just in case?
Yeah, I always write my goals down a few years in advance. And I've told Sean in the gym, I said if I'm not in the UFC when I'm 21, MMA is going to become a hobby. I'm going to get a normal job, I'm going to do this,
What would you have done instead?
I'd probably still do the same thing, but I've done it less, I'd probably work more hours in a job. But yeah, I just sort of thought, I was like, right, I'll write some targets down, make some goals, then I have to push myself to get there. And I was supposed to fight on one of the Cage Warriors cards in London. Yeah. And my opponent, I had 3 opponents pull out the week before. Then I got a fight at lightweight the week later on 6 days notice. Well, no, it was 2 weeks later. But they gave me, I think it was the Sunday or the Monday, they told me, they were like, oh yeah, do you want to fight title or lightweight? So I was like, yeah, why not? So I took the fight and I won that. And then I couldn't get a fight. And then every time I saw her pull out in the UFC, I was like, my way, I was like begging for it. I was like, right, I'm ready, I'll take it. And then eventually, so it was that card, I saw that card, I was like, if there's any card that someone's pulling out on, it's going to be this card. Because there was like,
you just knew. I
think there was 6 featherweights on it, I think there were 4 or 6 featherweights, so I was like, well, there's a handful in there, so it's got to be one of them.
Yeah, you've only had one loss in your whole career, which is Marzen Rozek. Like, is there anything that you took away from that? Like, what was your mindset after that loss? I
don't think I took it seriously, really. I just thought, it's another win. It didn't do too good for me. I was like, my ego was I'm just going to hit him and I'll win.
When you did get that call that you were going to make a UFC debut, when you were walking to the cage for that first time, you think, oh my God, I'm walking out, it's for the UFC. Did you feel nervous, or were you just like really excited thinking, finally, you know, this is my chance to get out there?
I didn't feel nervous. I was more like kind of excited. You know, I was like, couldn't wait to get in. I was like, this is what I've been visualising, this is what I've been preparing for, and these are the shows I want to be fighting on, not like these small empty arenas and all that.
Yeah, so. With your fight as well, you made such a statement. So I remember being cage side for that, and it was so fantastic. And everyone was thinking, who is this kid who's, you know, just come out and done this?
The nerves definitely must have been there, because I was a lot more tired than I think I should have been. And I was doing a lot of stupid stuff. I was kind of just like, maybe I'll try this, like take his head off with a left hand or something. Then in my next fight, I was a lot more controlled, I think, with Meza in the last London show. That's the first time I really felt 100% in control. I just sort of kind of like playing, really, like playing with him. I felt I could do what I wanted. I think that was, you know, having Faraz in the corner, having like a camp at TriStar, my confidence was high, and you know, you respect Faraz's opinion in the corner. He tells you, you know, this guy's broke, you can do what you want. Like, okay, finish him. I think he said, finish him or keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, I no need to take the risk, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
And it must have been amazing as well, obviously, getting to fight, not only for the UFC, but getting to fight, you know, in your home country in front of UK fans. That must have just been incredible to walk out to. Yeah, that was one of my goals as well, to fight at the O2. The next one is to headline at the O2. I mean, also you were meant to fight in October as well.
Yeah.
For the UFC Manchester card, but you had to pull out. What happened now?
I was ill. I had like some sort of mild case of pneumonia, and I was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got fat. I got heavy, and I was a bit depressed. It feels like you're taking a loss, you know. So it's money, you know, away from friends, my family, my girlfriend, my dog. Not getting to fight, you're gonna, especially like a few weeks before the fight. It's just like, feels like you're wasting your time. But definitely got a lot better in my time at TriStar, and approved like working with high-level guys all the time, like day in, day out.
And obviously, you know, we've got UFC London coming up. Have you already asked about getting on the card? Is that something you'd like to do as well?
I asked to fight earlier. I asked if I could fight a bit earlier, but we'll see. So 5-6 weeks from now, or even less than that, I'll be ready to fight. Just need a little notice, make the weight. I don't need to take short notice fights anymore, you know, unless there's an incentive for it, but yeah. Usually
you say you don't have to cut too much weight, so do you try and stay in shape all year round and try and eat really strict, or are you kind of a bit?
I do stay in shape all year round, but I think like a year or two ago I could have easily took a week's notice fight and made weight. And now I'm like, I don't think I could make the weight with a week's notice. I need some time, you know.
So when you took the time off, obviously at the time, you know, you'd won the Performance of the Night bonus at UFC Berlin. What did you do with your bonus money?
Pretty much spent most of the bonus on my training camps, you know, so yeah, and obviously having to pull out or not getting fights kind of puts you in a bad position, so that's why I'm not out at TriStar now, so I'm just waiting for my next fight to announce so I can afford to do a camp there.
I was going to say, because obviously, you know, it costs fighters so much money. I don't think people realise how much it can cost. You've got, you know, your coaches, and you'll get nutritionists, and you know, people do have to go overseas sometimes to do fight camps, and I can imagine it is heartbreaking if someone does then have to pull out after all the hard work.
I've usually been on the other end of the pull-out thing, but when he told me pulling the fight, I don't think I slept for like 48 hours.
Oh, no.
I cried a little bit like a baby. I was just like, I can still fight, and sitting there coughing my lungs up and dying. I can't remember who it was on a UK show. But it was like doing like hard sparring the Wednesday or the Tuesday of the fight, and he got a massive cut over his eye.
It happens so often, doesn't it, where fighters just constantly have to pull out. You know, it's always in training, isn't it? And there's just something.
It's hard, and it's like you're practicing to hurt someone without hurting someone. There's always going to be accidents and stuff. I think like cuts, like head clashes, like elbow clashes on your head, like striking, you don't really get as many of those sort of injuries. You roll in, something twists funny, or obviously head injuries are a bit different, like they get knocked out in the gym or something, that happens, yeah.
There's been some huge featherweight fights in your division at the moment, so you know the latest news is Conor McGregor has obviously had to have his featherweight title removed.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, he's having a baby. But what do you think of that? Because now Jose Aldo is the champion. What were your thoughts when you heard the news?
No one knows if Conor's actually planning to go back to defend his title. Seems a bit weird having Aldo as the champ, considering he got knocked out by the former champ in like 10 seconds. If he isn't going to go back to that division to defend it for a year, then they need to kind of keep it moving and they keep the ball moving. Hopefully Holloway fights Aldo soon, and you know, if Holloway wins, I think that'll look much better for the division, I think. But yeah.
I was going to say, because Holloway is doing so well at the moment. He's on a 10-fight win streak. I mean, I don't know if you saw his fight against Pettis.
Yeah, I see. He looks great. He's a killer. He's like one of my favourite fighters to watch, like for a while now. He has been.
And who do you think is going to win in that fight? Holloway, Aldo?
I think the form Holloway's on, he looks unstoppable and he's beating everyone. So, like it's a 10-fight win streak. Young guy, he's on a tear as well. Aldo, he looked really good against Edgar, obviously, but Holloway's a different fighter and he's hungry. So it's going to be a different fight.
You've got so many killers in this division now. You know, there's so many up-and-coming fighters as well. Is there anyone who you've got your eye on that you think, you know, I really would love to face them in the future? I
was supposed to fight Messad in the last show, so in the future I'd like to get that fight, to get a result for that fight. I'm not in the business of calling anyone out until we're in like the top 10 area and it makes a difference, you know. But I think at the arse end of the division it's making noise for no reason, you know. But if I'm calling for a top 10 guy or a top 5, you know, then it makes sense. But now it doesn't make sense.
Fight for me this year, I'd say the fight of the year was Cub Swanson. I don't know if you saw that fight, it's on the same card. I mean, what a fight. Buchari's so tough.
Yeah, he's got an iron chin, he's got solid right hand, like nice crisp boxing as well, like he's sharp, very sharp. Throws crazy kicks and swings stuff, so it was exciting, it was really good, I enjoyed it.
There's so many fights to look forward to as well, and obviously, you know, UFC London, hopefully we will see you on that card.
Yeah, hopefully, if not sooner.
Let's step away from fighting. Talk to me about what you like to do in your downtime. What are your hobbies?
Well, I live in the countryside, so there ain't much to do, but you know, me and my friends, we just let me take my 4x4 off-roading, do some jumps, do some donuts, get stuck in some reservoirs and...
Wow, that sounds dangerous.
You want to do it?
I'm quite scared, but let's do it.
Is that alright?
Yeah! So, UFC London is in March. Are you hoping to get on that card?
Yeah, I think that would be the one that makes sense. So, you know, back in the hometown again. Going forward in 2017, I want to get, I'd like to get on some of the US cards as well. It would be nice to get on some of the big cards.
Is there any opponent that you have in mind that you'd love to face in the card to fight in front of the UK fans?
You know, I'd like to get the fight with the guy I was supposed to fight, Messad. I'd like to get that fight in the future, whether it'll be there or whether or not, I don't know.
Well, it's been fantastic to speak to you today, and thank you for showing us around Colchester.
Anytime.
We look forward to seeing you on a fight card soon. We're in the middle of a field right now. I think you're going to have to take me home unless we're stuck in here forever.
Yeah, we'll just have to fire this beast up, we'll get you on.